Hello and welcome to our episode of Atomic Vinyl Reviews. My name's Jacob and today I've got another unboxing video. So let's get right into this one. So we got another one of these packages that's just like straight up plastic around the I don't even know what you call it. It's kind of like bubble wrap, but it's just like tubes of air, basically. And I can already feel it through the plastic. So I'm curious what this is. Okay, I see some polystyrene on either end. That's interesting. Let's snip around that. Okay. Goody. So, it looks like, from what we're seeing, we've got another Kong figure. So, I believe this is a bootleg King Kong figure that I got off eBay. Now, there's an interesting story behind this one. It's the one I'm thinking of, which I don't think I would have any other ones on the way, so it's gotta be. But the interesting story behind this one is that these showed up on AliExpress. There we go. These showed up on AliExpress for a bit cheaper than I found it for, and I looked at it and I thought, maybe I will get it. So I was thinking about getting it. You can see him here. Oh, look at that. So I was thinking about getting it, and then I noticed, or at least somebody pointed out, that these look like they're exact bootleg copies of this figure here, which is the Star Ace, or is it Ace Star or Star Ace? Star Ace, yes. Kong from Kong Skull Island figure, the first release of this with the closed mouth version. Now the difference that this figure seemed to have was, one, the paint job, and two, they put a chain around his arm, which is very interesting. But when I went to go buy this guy after that realization, because, you know, with this new paint job, he looked actually quite different. So I wanted to compare these two figures to see whether the sculpt is indeed identical or whether it's like a recreation or something weird. After that, these just disappeared from AliExpress completely. They were just no longer listed anywhere. So I had to do some reverse Google image searches, and eventually I found a listing of these on eBay. It was a little bit more expensive than the ones on AliExpress, but at least I got my hands on this thing, so yeah, finally. Okay, it's even got a little brand. It's got like dinosaur and animal brand or whatever this is. Look at that. All in Chinese in here by the looks of it. Yeah, interesting. So that's the name of the brand, however you pronounce that. So we can take this off. Ah, he does look really similar to that Star Ace figure. It's very similar, but the detailing on him is definitely a little different. Let's bring him in together. So get rid of Predator here. Put him down here. Let's bring in this guy. So here's the original figure. And here is this different one. And you know what? Despite the resemblance being really similar, these guys don't look like they're the same sculpt. So this actually, I guess, isn't a bootleg, but a third-party figure. At least that's what it looks like. But I don't know. Some parts of this sculpt look really similar, like this arm here with the chain around it. It looks eerily similar to this guy's arm here, but just without the chain. But then you look at stuff like the feet, and they're completely different. Like, the size-wise and the sculpt-wise, they're different. Like, you can see there, these have more, like, rounded textures on the bottom. This guy's got, like, flat textures on the bottom of his feet there. So that is really odd. Yeah, his fur texture across his body is definitely different. At least I'm looking at his lower body. And you got that big seam line on this guy that goes around here. His fur texture is a bit different there. Fur on this guy, at least on his lower torso here, if you put a line right through the middle of his body, you can see it's mirrored on either side in this like section here, which doesn't look very natural, and it leads me to believe, and it might be the same case on his back here, which leads me to believe that this guy was made, not hand sculpted, but made in like a 3D drawing, not drawing, like sculpting program on a computer, as opposed to this guy, which was clearly hand sculpted. So look at that there. This guy's got no symmetry in any of his hair. All the detail work really looks like this guy's made in clay, and like somebody, you know, carved him out of clay. But this guy here actually appears to be something made in a 3D digital program, which is really interesting. I wasn't expecting that. So we got his face there. Very weird looking stare with his bright red eyes and a bit of that dry brushing. And got a nice side look to him on the back. And you know what? This guy is not a bad figure by any sense of the word. I do think his paint job is a little bit dark. He looks a little bit cheap because of it, and the sculpt definitely isn't as nice as it is on the Star Ace figure. But both figures seem to be pretty nice, so you can definitely tell that the inspiration was there between the two figures. So somebody was probably had this guy in hand or was looking at this thing and designed this figure accordingly, which is really interesting. So this is a third-party Kong figure. Really, really cool. Huh. Take a look at the back of both figures. There's his back. There's his back. You can see there are differences, but definitely inspiration was taken from this one. You can see this one's got a much more defined butt than this guy here. But other than that, their pose is almost identical. Like, even look at this one's got the open hand on this side. So there's this guy. He's got a much longer hand. This guy here, he's got a more broad hand, thicker fingers and stuff like that. But yeah, that is so weird. It's just like they just almost tried to duplicate the same figure, but like at a lower quality, which is really odd to me. And you can see this guy's got clearly this big scar across his body, just like the one from Kong Skull Island had. This one's got kind of different scarring across his chest there, so they did change it up a little bit. And this one's got that chain, which is a really cool addition. I like the chain because it kind of reflects like the other figure that was made by Star Ace after this guy, with the open mouth and the chain with that like propeller blade from the ship in his hand and stuff like that. So really cool. Okay. Just give you guys a nice look at this guy. He's, yeah, his paint job isn't as nice. He's very dark, and his fur is, you know, he just looks more plasticky, more shiny plasticky. But I'm curious, with a decent resculpt, this guy could be a really cool Kong figure, I think. Not resculpt, but repaint. But perhaps adding some sculpted detail wouldn't hurt as well to a few different areas around this guy. But if you are after a really affordable sort of duplicate of this Kong here, this guy might be the way to go. You can see both of them there. Real cool. I'll probably do another video on this guy, maybe like a little full review or something, compare him to some other figures. I guess I could briefly bring in this other bootleg Kong figure that arrived the other day. I haven't got a chance to film a full review of this guy just yet. It might come out before this video does, depending on chronological order of how I release my videos. And they're a bit off usually, we'll see. But yeah, that's how they scale. So 2 bootleg Kong figures. This guy is, of course, based on that huge Mezco Kong from back in the day, from the 2005 Peter Jackson's King Kong movie. Fantastic figure. And we can just bring in another Mezco Kong, which is this little guy here, just so you can get a nice comparison of this brand new third-party Kong figure. So, yeah, that's about it for this little unboxing, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you in my next video. But till then, may all your vinyl be radiated vinyl. Over and out. Bye.